So today's warm-up, go to get hay in my little key truck here, little Daihatsu Hi-Jet deck van. Of course, battery's dead. And because you can't just get a battery for it anywhere, I have to buy a Power Sports battery, drill and tap this guy here so we can put these adapters in. There's the old battery. And then we have the normal style clamps here. Okay, battery in. Do a little test start here. Boom. No problem. Giant bowl of mush. Oh, you guys are hungry. Don't worry, we got our hay. Everybody's got some food. We got some fresh water. The chickens over here enjoying themselves with all the bugs that come in. They keep the area clean. There we go. So I'm fed. The goats are fed. Hay's put away. Batteries taken care of. Other small little projects taken care of. Now it's time to deadlift. First exercise today will be a single on the PR platform, raised up on this rack about 2.5 inches off the ground. Using band, the band set just above the bar, and at full resistance, combination of both, be about 120 pounds plus or minus at lockout. And I'm doing this because I need to start feeling some heavier weights in my training, but I'm not at the point yet where I can pull heavy from the floor, but this will put me in a more advantageous position to where I can still pull heavier weight and get used to holding that heavier weight in my hands and without the fear of injuring myself having to pull directly off the ground. So let's get into it. And the cool thing about using something like this PR platform, instead of doing block pulls, this removes that progressive lifting that you would normally get from something like a deadlift bar. As this is a semi-stiff bar, it's a pretty stiff Olympic bar. But you can see the collars of the barbell are dead on the pins. And there's going to be very little flex breaking the bar off of the pins. So while I am elevating the deadlift like a block pull, I am adding difficulty to that by reducing the progressive lift that you would normally get with bending the bar and getting a really hard slack pull like you would normally see. So I'm putting myself in a more advantageous position for my deadlift, raising it higher, but I'm then adding back in the difficulty, breaking it from that area from a dead stop without the progression. So this is a way for me to load a heavier deadlift, get used to again lifting the heavier deadlifts while reducing the potential of re-aggravating my injury that I'm rehabbing, and adding accommodating resistance at the top. It's really just a melting pot of things that for me that has worked very, very well in the past. So this is my top single here at 275 kg. That's 606 pounds plus 120 pounds band tension at the top. So we're a little bit over 700 at the top, but only breaking, you know, just over 6 right off the pins. And now for some real pain. Some Boris deads. So 1.5 rep deadlifts, which are sure to bring me absolute misery from start to finish. So I only wound up doing one set of those Boris deads. The first set taxed me out pretty good. And I have to remember for this prep, I'm just getting started. And I haven't really deadlifted, or definitely not deadlifted anything heavy in quite some time. So finding my limit and realizing when to cut it short is going to be crucial here in the first coming weeks as I get back in shape. Get used to handling the heavy volume, getting used to deadlifting, getting used to just getting back in conditioning for this kind of work. So now we have about a minute straight of pure pain, and I'm going to be doing a 10-second tempo squat. I'm not going to be sitting to the box, but because the negative is so long, I just want a repeatable position where I can just touch and go, to make sure I'm doing the same depth exactly every single time. And I'm not going to be wearing any belt, no sleeves. It's pretty lightweight. This is just getting me back into the movement pattern, really relearning how to squat, which I haven't done many squats in the past few months. survived squat, just barely. 2 sets at nearly a minute each, really a minute, over a minute on the first one, because I realize now after watching it back that I did 7 reps instead of 6, lost count. I skipped that second set of deads, because if I didn't, I would have probably never made it through both sets of squat. And right now squat needs the most work, it's the most down. And now we have some single leg seated hamstring curls. So we're at full stack plus that 20 kg plate. So we need the seatbelt here to lock us in. Well, shit. So apparently, what I was using to hold the plate was just not strong enough. So now that I got this thing all cleaned up, set up, prep, bolted back together, I can try it out for the first time. What's cool is you can start with a pretty heavy set, and you can use this so you can get a good start without having to do a full split. Also, a really cool feature is the angle of the back. And this thing will lay all the way down, and I really want to try all these out. I already tried the first setting, so I'm gonna go ahead with the settings, the second setting, and see if it's what I'm looking for. It's a completely different feeling than my bent knee adductor in the shed. Good test set. All right, first working set. I'm going with 180 on the stack. This thing goes all the way to 380. So, got a long time to go before I can stack this guy out. There's a really good, unique feeling here. It's almost like a straight leg adductor you would do on a cable machine with a slight bend in the hip. This is more or less exactly what I was looking for. Do a hold. Okay. Where's my handles? Okay, little update on the tractor project I have going on. I had this old fuel filter here that goes right here, and this was a fuel water separator that broke. I finally found another one. These things are not easy to find, as this is a 1972 Massey Ferguson tractor. That's 50 plus years old, and this is the original part. And this was the last one for sale on that website that I did find it at. And I did find a identical Napa style fuel filter that will work. And this goes right in here. Now that I finally found the right part, I can try and start this thing, which I have no idea when the last time it ran. I bought it as a parts tractor to fix my other one, but when I got it, it was in pretty damn good condition. And I want to try and get it running to see if this thing works, and I think it will run. But this was a major issue, and now that I have the proper fuel filter, fuel water separator, I can then check the fuel pump over here. I can check the fuel lift pump, and that's really all it is to these things. There's nothing to it. There's no electronics, and it's really just cool as hell. Look at this thing. Now I have the same one over here. The only difference is I got this giant hydraulic bucket on it and the rooftop, but really they are the same tractor, you know. So these are how I'm gonna get this back, all of this craziness. But first, this has to get running. And that's it for today's session. That's my first deadlift and squat day. Deadlift primary, squat secondary. My next lower day will be the inverse of that. I will squat first and deadlift second. Today was 95 days out and just about 13 weeks. Everything's going pretty good. Feel all right. Conditioning isn't there, but that will catch up as I continue to push, continue to train, get back into motion of doing all this at a high level. I have some more fun projects on the way between the cars, the tractors, the yard, the land, the animals, powerlifting prep. I'm sure I'll be doing some jiu-jitsu stuff here coming up for those that are interested in that, and how I put that all together and try to find the most efficient way to train everything and still build this homestead in a way that doesn't just absolutely destroy me.